Hey everybody, how you doing? All right, yeah, I'm live. Excellent. At least I should be. So, let's see what we got here. I'm going to make this quick, easy, because I've got a lot of things to do. As you see back here, everything is a single mess. So, we are been chatting on Facebook here because there is a big, big thing that has just hit. What's that, you ask? Well, the Supreme Court has now ruled that, or I guess upheld the ruling, that it is illegal to ship alcohol across the border. So, what does that mean? What exactly does that mean? Well, if you remember correctly, there has been quite a few things that have been going on with this. A lot of people have stated that it could be a good thing. A lot of people stated that it could be a bad thing. Overall, it is an interesting thing. There's some good and bad with this, but it is a step back for things like beer. Really doesn't pertain much to things like spirits because you find the same spirits pretty much everywhere. Really doesn't pertain much to a lot of wine, but it does because you can't personally buy wine from another province. You actually have to go through a retailer to buy it there. You can't go to the winery or talk to the winery and say, hey, can you put up a store where I can get your wine, um, even though you're in BC and I'm in Alberta, for example. Uh, but it also makes a harder step for people to actually have a system where the taxes and tariffs are across from east to west pretty much the same, which makes it hard for people in Alberta, breweries in Alberta, to ship alcohol or beer to Ontario, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, BC, because it costs so much more after the taxes and tariffs. Whereas places opposite can ship it into BC because it's not that much more. But once it gets here, the consumer has to pay that much more. Uh, I'm probably gonna be corrected on that one, but it's it's a step back overall because I mean, you can illegally bring beer across borders. You can bring a certain amount of alcohol with you across borders. Uh, I brought stuff across the border as little as pretty much Sunday. Granted, I did say it was something else, even though I was being searched. Uh, because of the fact that it showed up orange on the scanner in my luggage. They asked me to open it, looked at it, said it was okay, let me carry on. But they could have actually said that's too much. We have to confiscate it. You have to come with us. You will be fined and you will be charged. Which could have happened because it was Canada's security. It seriously could have happened, which, yeah, I don't know. It's it's a tough call of what happens. You could get caught. You could not get caught. The case that is going on that actually the Supreme Court was talking about was a guy came across borders in Eastern Canada with 15 cases of beer. That's a lot, but he was avoiding the taxes in his own province because it was cheaper to get it elsewhere, even after driving there and back. I mean, that right there speaks volumes. There's so there is good and bad with this. Um, as the defense stated, it could lead to people bringing over 15 truckloads of alcohol across the border. If you put a limit on it, say it's legal up to this point, like they do with Canada Post, if you read their rules, you're legally allowed to bring alcohol across on Canada Post if you have a license to do so up to a certain point through Canada Post. If you put a limit on that, then it would work. But they didn't even see that. They just went, nope, illegal still. Forget it. It's illegal. So each province is still allowed to charge whatever they want to distributors for them to bring alcohol in. It's not helping anyone's economy out except for their own, which is fair. They're trying to help their own economy out. But as Canada as a whole, it's not quite the same. I mean, I love my BC beers. I've been adamant about that since the day one where I've been starting doing this. I love my BC beers. I love my BC craft beers. They have tons of great stuff out there. I also love my Alberta beers. I love all that Alberta does. They have tons of great stuff out there. I love Ontario beers. Half Hour on Earth, Flying Monkeys, all the good ones out there. They have tons of good stuff out there too. It's pretty much, but I can't exactly get to enjoy it. I cannot drive or fly to Ontario to get some of these great beers that I want to try because of the fact that it costs way too much to drive or fly there. I can fly or drive to BC to get some of the great stuff there, and I do. I do. I'm not gonna lie. We get some good BC beers here, but we don't get some stuff that I would love to get. For example, I came back with this and with this. These are two great BC beers. Yeah, from the same brewery, I know, but it was close by. Okay. Two great BC beers, but I will never see them in the Alberta market because of the fact that A, they're limited quantities, B, if they can make more, it would cost an arm and a leg. We just got two beers from BC, Bachelor Pad and Vaporwave from Twin Sails, and the price is extraordinary. It is huge. It's like $32 for a 4-pack. Thankfully, I work in a store that sells singles. It's still like $8 for a single, but it's still $8 for a single. You still have a single one of this and say, hey, that's good. And you get to enjoy that one, but you also get to go on and go, oh, look, we also have the Jungle Bird from Dandy. I'll grab that one as well. We have this from the States. I'll grab that one as well. You get to enjoy a very variety amount of beers in a store that sells singles. And that is exactly what a craft beer place should be, where you get to share and enjoy. But with these laws, it makes it harder for you to actually share beers from other places. It makes it hard to enjoy the good stuff because it costs so much because of taxes and tariffs and to bring them in. BC is starting to get a little bit better on this. When I was in Penticton, I went to the Cherry Lane liquor store out there, and they had some great beers. They had Bellwoods there. We have Bellwoods here too, granted, but they have it for a little bit of a cheaper price. 1050, for example. They have 1050 there. I found 1050 in BC finally. That's from the States. And it was $3 cheaper than Alberta. It was $19.25 a 4-pack, where it is $22, $23 a 4-pack here. I mean, I would spend under $20 for that. I'm finding it hard to justify spending $23, $23 for that here. It's not easy. I mean, like if we had a standard amount where we could actually all enjoy the same product for pretty much the same price across Canada, it'd be great. I mean, we can't even agree on our own taxes. Some have PST and HST, and some have pretty much just PST. But we have other taxes built into it. It's This ruling has set us back a bit, and yes, it's going to be appealed. But they use some very powerful arguments. They use the fact that if this happens because it's a dangerous product, like tobacco and cannabis is, they class it as a class 1 dangerous product, was to say that they won't start bootlegging more tobacco across the borders. They already do. They just you know, you don't see it as much. You see truckloads of this stuff going across borders, but they don't see it as much because it's a blind eye in a way. They use cannabis as a controlled substance with the new cannabis laws coming out. You're gonna get this happening too. I mean, that's no matter what, but you're gonna have these places like this. There's gonna be a nice cannabis place that's gonna be opening up across Canada that's gonna share the same stuff. And hello, Beer by the Numbers. And Beer by the Numbers says if people still want it, people will get it across the border no matter what. Yes, I agree. But if you get caught, you still get fined. But I mean, that's the thing. You can't have as many products as you want across the border. Like that's what they're trying to control it that way as well. I just feel that it's like it's a setback. It's a little bit of a setback because of the fact that we can enjoy so much more alcohol if we really wanted to, if we had the option to. This is just, it's a little bit of a setback because again, you can't get Alberta beers in Ontario. I mean, Big Rock set up a brewery in Ontario so that they can cross promote their beers from Alberta and use their own for Ontario as well. Mill Street did the same thing. They put in a brew pub in Alberta so that they can bring in their Ontario branch beers in and still have a brewery where they can bring in special beers for Alberta. There's a ways around it, yes, but not everybody can do that. Not everybody could afford to put the stuff there. It's It'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks. If there's going to be an appeal or not. It'll be interesting to see how this comes about. I was mad at first. Hearing this, I was mad. I'm still a little upset, but I can see how the defense brought it around because I watched the videos of how the defense said, hey, this is not a good thing. This should be. But again, they were looking at black or white. There was no middle ground whatsoever. It's like, no, this is bad. Well, how's it bad? Because of this. All right, you're right. It's bad. There's no, but we can do it this way. We can come to a middle ground and say, here, you get the best of both worlds. You get the best of both worlds. Here we go. Unfortunately, that's not the case now. I will be following this a little bit more deeper. I just want to come on here for a few minutes, 15 minutes so far, and say that, yeah, it's a setback in the beer world, setback in the wine world. Not a setback in the spirits. I really don't feel that the spirits are hurting from this. They can get anywhere they want, and they can pretty much charge whatever they want. So, and thank you. So, beer by the numbers, good topic. This is sort of things I love to look into and cover. It is. It really is. It is a great topic. I mean, this is something that we all need to look at. Um, there's a lot of good. There's a lot of bad for it. I actually had someone turn to me in one of the things here. Let me just pull it up and basically state that it's a good thing. Having this be illegal is a good thing because of the fact. How do you put it? It's a good thing. It really is. And this is why. And he says because they showed a National Post link, and I will put it into the chat here. Give me 2 seconds while it comes up. And there. Coming up to you in a couple of seconds here. This is a good thing, it really is. Expansion and liberal booze laws in the USA is hurting established indie craft brewers. I don't want to see more macro purchases in Canada. The macros should just stick to brewing shitty macro lagers and their customers. Plain and simple. Stick to what they do good at and leave the craft brewers alone. I'm tired of the macro supporters, apologists, and corporate shills, to be honest, and it's what's in the glass that matters my ass. Honestly, and I retorted to that. I said that it's no, it's not Alberta, and I told him about the taxes and tariffs and how Alberta is one of the guys that just brings everything in. I also said that we've had so many beers hit our market, so many BC beers, for example. It has a good monopoly in Alberta with a lot of their breweries on our shelves. Yet look how many breweries we have gone up in the last 2 years. We've got up at least 60 breweries in the last 2 years, and that's 60 breweries um, in Alberta alone. That's including people like Mill Street, Calgary, and Labatt's plant in Edmonton. And I don't call that a brewery; I call that a plant. We all know it's a plant. So we still have the macro here. They haven't really bought out anybody. They bought out a few people, but I mean, macros have bought out a bunch of people in BC. That's the thing. They've bought out. Well, they macros bought out Mill Street in Ontario. They've bought out Whistler, or not Whistler, but they've bought out Stanley Park. They've got their own Pacific line. They've got a few other things. So it's always a good thing for someone, but policies like these are never good for everyone. Also, I'm tired of macro bashing articles. Some people like that sort of beer. Get over it. Beer by the numbers. And you know what? It's true. I've got a review coming up where I'm looking at a Mad Jack. Just gonna throw that out there. Just because I can. And it's a nice tea. Anyways, I'm getting off topic on that one. But yeah, there's a bunch of things that are happening that it's good, it's bad, but for what I see it as, it's more bad than good. We're taking a step back. We're having some issues. It's going to cause a lot of rifts. It's going to cause more of the governments to probably jump their taxes up so we can't get beers from other provinces in, and it's going to cause something else to happen as well. Like, I can't believe they used tobacco and cannabis in their defense. Seriously, they used that in their defense. I just they were talking about alcohol and they said no, now it's going to be tobacco, it's going to be cannabis, it's all dangerous goods. Well, if it's dangerous goods, why the hell are you supporting it? Why the hell are you taxing the shit out of it? If it's dangerous goods, why don't you make it illegal? But it's class 1 dangerous goods. I'm glad they haven't made alcohol illegal, because then I'd be out of a review and I'd be going back to doing food and probably clogging my arteries with some sort of greasy shit. But instead of killing my liver, yes. Um, Offhand, I again feel it's bad. I don't think anything's good's going to come out of this. So, what are your thoughts? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to get more on this. I would love to do more on this, but unfortunately, that work thing is looming, and I've got to get to work to sell people an illegal, dangerous good of beer because I can. So, I'll get more into this. You'll see more live streams about this. I was going to do a live stream about all the winners of uh, the the awards at the Okanagan Festival. I was also going to do a little poll on my Twitter channel in regards to a cask that I saw, which is going to bring up a great controversy. It really is. It brought up a great controversy on someone else's channel, and I actually reached out to the brewery because the name was a little different. So look for those coming up. I will be showing that soon enough. I'm going to try and go live, I think, tomorrow morning. I don't think anyone's here. Kids are away. I can do it for. Oh, no, kids are here. Damn it. I'll do it tomorrow afternoon. So I'll probably come on about 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, Mountain Standard Time, to talk about the awards. I will also be talking about that cask that I saw, and yeah, it was, like I said, it was a doozy. Um, it was a doozy, but it was a good one. I really like to have this kind of controversy. Anyways, folks, thanks for joining. I'm really sorry that I would love to talk longer, but again, gotta get to work. Cheers. Because you know what? There's a lot of good shit out there. Cheers.